Also, I'm going to just show you here is my research for film openings, where I focus on the two case studies. He's just not that into you and Crazy Stupid Love. And I analyzed everything about mise en scène, music, camera, and editing. And here is the genre research that I did for romance, where I focus on the quotes and conventions, the purpose, the mise en scène, the camera, editing, sound, and the important film directors with their famous films that they have made. So, with all of this in mind, let's move to the next part, camera and editing. So, for camera, um, I used many close-ups to create rapport with the character. Especially, I used an over-the-shoulder shot when the character is looking at a picture with her parents. That makes the audience feel quite uncomfortable and voyeuristic. They're witnessing this really intimate moment of the character herself, which creates to form almost by force really this bond with the main character. They are getting inside her head, and so this continued use of close-ups and medium close-ups really allows the character to create rapport with Summer. However, the use of medium shots when and of longer shots when she is with her mum conveys her secondary role and how she feels quite insignificant and misunderstood when she's with her. This is also conveyed through the blocking. She's always following her mum. The focus on them and the medium close-ups and close-ups are on her mother to get to know the character of her mom as well. So basically, I wanted to introduce all of my characters and show their dynamics. There's a focus on the character dynamics as well when there's a pushing towards Maria at the end of the flash forward to really show the discomfort with the intimacy that has been created with this other character, which we see in the flash forward at the end. And so the camera movement is quite basic because I wanted the audience to focus on the characters and the dialogue, yet the blocking is really important as well as the short list to create this rapport with the characters. So I'm going to be showing you, for example, the blocking. I did a presentation where I showed exactly where the character moved in the frame, the relative positions. You see how Summer is always a little bit behind her mom, and also her inside the car and where the camera is supposed to be placed. And I also explained what the purpose of this was. And on the shortlist, I did something similar. I did a presentation running through each frame in my storyboard and where I got the inspiration from. And for editing, because editing, I used longer takes to create a more dynamic and relaxed pace, which allows the audience to get inside the world and understand the characters and create rapport with them, instead of focusing on a really fast-paced narrative that can be quite shocking. So I used some transitions, usually cuts, but I did use fade to white to convey ellipsis. I used slower dissolves, especially in the part of the voiceover between, for example, the flashback and the verbs, to convey that we are inside her head, so the audience is inside her head, which feels a bit more distorted, which is why I used all the fade transitions. Also, the font of the name and studios is quite teenage-like. I edited this to convey the genre of teen romance. And in the flashbacks, I used a wide vignette effect to emphasize that they were, in fact, flashbacks that I'm going to be talking about now for the mise en scène. But first, let me show you some of my blog posts on editing my footage. For example, this one on making my footage lighter, and this one editing the photos that I would later on use for my poster. So with all of this in mind, let's move again to mise en scène.